is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler. I never get to finish my points.
Welcome back to the show. This is Off Panel, Off Topic number 144.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much money are we getting paid now?
Nothing.
Shit.
Yeah, we're not good at it.
Well,
They're terrible.
Did I screwed up the 30-second thing, didn't I? Or did I not?
I don't know.
Our intro's like a minute.
I
isn't
don't
it?
know. Who knows this is going to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Fucking
Actually, yeah, it will. But
Well,
we'll fine. With the theme song, we should be fine.
That's what I'm thinking. Although I'm pretty sure I say like fucking street or something. I can't help
That's
myself.
where I live. Fucking street.
I can't help myself.
Wow,
Like,
that was
when
loud.
I sing, I just
Sorry.
have to. When I sing, I just have to be like, adding I need a couple syllables. Fucking.
I know.
Goddamn.
And most people say like this, go like or Fuck it. Fucking is your filler word.
Well, here's
Fuck.
the thing: is that being in radio as long as I have, I actually, when I'm conscious of
You
it,
cannot use this on YouTube at all.
when I'm conscious of it, it's really easy for me. Although I just said, it's really pretty easy for me to do the radio trick of leaning your words against each other so that you don't have dead air, but you're also not saying things like or like.
Welcome back to the show.
Newman.
I love that. You're very antagonistic.
Welcome back
you
to
are
the
very
show from your
antagonistic.
TED Talk, Tyler.
TED Talk Tyler every Tuesday.
TED Talk Tyler is a production of Mark Goodson Television Production.
All right, a couple things we got to talk about.
All right.
We're going to be doing 2 episodes. So episodes 4 and 5 of X-Men 97. We're also going to be talking about the Silver Surfer news
Sweet.
with Julia Garner.
I got
and all
something
that,
to say about that.
and all the chuds.
Yeah.
And then we got some more comics.
Sweet.
Punisher number 3, Defenders number 3, and then we get it on with the long box.
Long box, then we go on our separate ways.
Yeah. All right, Tyler. X-Men.
We're doing a double shot of skidly-loo-doo-doo. Skidly-loo-doo-doo.
Yeah, excuse me, bartender.
Can I get a double shot
Right,
of
a
skidly-doo-doo-doo? Skidly-doo-doo-doo. Beep.
Yeah. So this
Can
one,
I also get a couple of glasses of
that you run into the bathroom.
Well, listen, I don't know if you know, but will shoot right through you.
Mm.
Take a shot of that, you got to pee right away. It's basically poison.
I feel like someone is like shot their radio, like taking a gun out and shot their radio like fucking Han Solo. And the first Star Wars, like, what is this shit? Skilly-dee-lee-dee. Just shoot it.
Fuck you. I didn't sign off for this skiddly-doo-doo fucking bullshit. You know what?
Boring podcast anyway.
Thank God for looser gun laws so psychopaths like me can have them so I can shoot my radio for no reason.
I'm gonna go teach a class.
I'm going to teach a class.
So
It's
anyway,
funny 'cause it's
speaking
true.
of teaching lessons, X-Men is here to teach us
All
lessons.
right, cool.
So episode 4 is Motendo / Life Death Part 1. Which I guess was kind of, so when we were talking, because we watched episode 5 together, and before
As friends.
we held hands the whole time. As I thought it was kind of a weird episode where don't get me wrong, I love the episode. So the whole plot line of episode 4 is Jubilee kind of just has her own episode of her turning 18.
Yeah.
I think, turning 18. She's with her and Sunspot, and it's like, I think it's what's so fun about it is it so feels like an issue of a comic book.
Yep.
And it's so much like all of these episodes up until we'll get to episode 5. But I mean 1 and 2 kind of they all have the running themes of the show, but like it really did feel like a fun like transitionary issue of the comic book. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when you except for like a very few instances, most of the time when Arcade showed up in any comic book, whether it be X-Men generally or shit, he showed up in Spider-Man comic books and stuff. That was generally like
it's like a one-off. It's a one-off issue.
I didn't want to say filler, but yeah, one-off issue. That's like, hey, here's a story, and then we'll get back to our regularly scheduled events.
Yeah, it's like I hate to say transitional, but it is.
Here's the thing, though. There's a lot to unpack in this episode because Mojo plays the proxy of like these alt-right fucking terrible fans. I don't know if you noticed that, but everything he said was like, this is the way you're supposed to talk. This is the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is exactly the kind of asshole who's like, Miles isn't really Spider-Man. I'm like, oh my God, this again? I can't believe we're still talking about this.
Yeah. I think it's...
But I like the episode, and I'm a huge fan of like Mojo and the X-Babies and stuff from the comic books. Long Shot, Shatterstar, another Liefeld creation. You fucking douche. Hey, what are 2 words that go together that sound cool and I can't draw feet? Shatter and Star. Cool. There's another fucking character from a stupid fucking comic book.
Shoots the fucking radio again. That's the 3rd one this week.
That is the 3rd goddamn radio, and I'm not listening to your podcast anymore. I can't so draw feet.
Oh, wait. Rob Liefeld was the one who shot it in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
Rob Liefeld, this goddamn, leave me alone.
I have enough money that all I need to do is sit around and listen to people.
It's funny because I'm so
talk shit about me and then shoot my phone and buy a new phone.
You're the only one that has feelings about like any sort of feelings towards Rob Liefeld. I don't give a shit. I wasn't reading his comics growing up. Yeah.
Reading is a loose word because there was no plot or dialogue.
And the Deadpool that I know
there was, but it sucked. Yeah.
The Deadpool I know is like, yeah, that's a whole different thing.
You know, the evolved
I started
Deadpool.
with like Daniel Way. But anyway, back to X-Men 97.
The Deadpool.
What I loved about this episode and what I think is so genius about the Motendo episode is when they continue to
the 16-bit fucking arcade bits were sorry.
When we talk about animation and we talk about like Spider-Verse and that and like how them changing art styles for character, and so to see a whole episode where we do the 8-bit and 16-bit, so it looks like the super, like it even looked like a Genesis.
Well, those are the fucking arcade games. Like we had those big ass consoles or with cabinets with 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 places, and these magnificently large screens.
The fact that it looked like that game was like fucking awesome. Like it looked like the arcade game. That was so cool.
other game that was like that was like there was a TMNT game that was very similar,
Turtles in Time was pretty popular. But it was one of
the first, I think, games where you could go side to side, but also up and down.
The Turtles one, yeah, I think so.
And also X-Men, but up until then, I think it was a lot like Contra and Donkey Kong and stuff, where you could just go side scrolling.
Yeah,
it opened up the world a little more, and that was kind of like, it kind of made it tougher actually, because sometimes you couldn't.
Well, and the side scroller beat 'em ups were pretty popular around that time,
of course.
So.
Well, they're fun.
But the fact that it looked like the X-Men arcade game, and then
that was cool.
when she was getting hurt, like her health bar actually, like
and she found an extra life.
Right. It's showing you and telling you a story that only can work in animation. Just like when you read a comic book and you're like, this only works because of how this is like it's a comic book. It's like it and to see it done over and over again and look like Sonic and look like Mario and like all that stuff of that era, and and again, I love how committed. Mm-hmm. X-Men 97 is committed to staying in the 90s, and everything is of that time. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's going to be the weird techno comic book technology shit in there, but for the most part, like video games and stuff, it would make sense that it looks like a Sega Genesis, and it looks like those 16-bit games and stuff like that. Yeah, and again, it was a fun one-off story, and
I liked it.
it was really cool to have the original Jubilee's voice actors come back.
Yeah.
And have that moment because we find out, oh, it's Jubilee from a different dimension and it's like, I love how this show is just so committed to the weirdness of the X-Men mythos because, and we'll talk about it with episode 5.
Mojo himself is just, the whole thing is just weird. Carter and I, my brother, we actually read the original Long Shot miniseries written by Ann Nesenti and art by Art Adams. It was a 6-issue miniseries, and that was the introduction to Mojo, I think. Or either that or Mojo had appeared in like an X-Men annual at that point, maybe. But I believe Long Shot was the first appearance, that series was the first appearance of Mojo and all of that, because that's where he comes from. He's one of the... I can't remember what he ends up being, but Shatterstar is another one of those guys, like Long Shot.
Yeah. That's the thing is it always X-Men always plays with time travel and dimensions and space and all these weird things because it's a really weird soap opera, and I think that's what I really like about this show and what I like about the X-Men and what draws me to them is, like, I'm not saying the stories are soap opera level, like, bad and silly. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's like when I say pro wrestling is a soap opera.
Right.
I'm not saying it in a negative light. I'm just saying that, like, it has just a different weight to it and a different feel. Like, I don't think we talk enough about tone. Maybe we do, but I'm just saying, like, tone. Like, this show is consistent in its tone, where you can have the juxtaposition of these two episodes and these stories, where you can have the juxtaposition of the joyful, fun, crazy animation of Jubilee, and then the really crazy, like, what the fuck of episode 5. And before we get there, I just want to talk, what did you think of, so Life, Death, the way I'm looking at this, we have the Motendo story end, and then I feel like we're going to keep seeing Storm and Forge's story kind of behind everything. It's the B plot throughout the rest of the season. What did you think of this?
So this is great because we've talked about this before, and I'm a huge, I grew up during this era, and we talked last week about ROM Space. Now I believe it's Hasbro who owns Micronauts and ROM and one other toy thing that they're trying to make, or there was news like a while ago they were trying to make their own like shared cinematic universe or whatever. Like, shut the fuck up. But the thing here's the problem, or maybe it's Mattel, but
no, it's Hasbro because they're talking about making like 45 movies or something.
Right,
like that.
Shut up, dude. Yeah, and they will own Transformers too. And I think G.I. Joe. But
that Transformers animated movie, the trailer should be coming soon.
Oh, cool. But the thing is ROM Space Knight was a huge part of the Marvel universe in throughout the 1980s, like the late 1970s to 87 or so, 88 maybe, and he appeared in every issue of every comic that was out there. The dire wraiths that he fought, these race of like these creatures that basically like they put their tongues into your brain and then sucked you out, and then you were dead, but they took on your form.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy, dude. It's a whole long thing. We'll get into ROM some other time. The point is,
well, yeah, I feel like we had to do a deep dive on ROM.
We will at some point, but that was like the thing, and that he had, I think, a series that lasted like 70, 80 issues, so of his own and everything. And what happened is the X-Men are somewhere and they're fighting alongside ROM, and Forge has a weapon that he's trying to use, I think, to destroy a dire wraith or something. This is what I recall, and if you have documentation or citations that I am wrong, then please let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will, you fucking douchebags. Anyway, isn't that nice? I'll just call our audience douchebags. Yeah, what do you got?
It's your fault. It's your fault. Be mad at yourself.
Okay. So, yeah, not really. I mean, I'm sorry. But anyway, so he accidentally shoots Storm, and she loses her powers. So I really liked how they played with it and made it so that, like, he ends up admitting to her or revealing to her that he has a role in her losing her powers. So it's a different way of showing that Forge has not only a stake in wanting to help her get her powers back, but also that he's almost directly responsible for it. Because the gun that he shoots in the comics, he made it to shoot the dire wraiths or something. I can't remember what it was. It was supposed to be comparable to Rom's neutralizer. He had this extra spatial weapon. We'll get into that another. It's fucking crazy. Anyway. Right. So so that happens. And then Storm doesn't have her powers for years, okay? And then they go down to Dallas to fight this thing called the Adversary, and they die. So for like 5 years in the Marvel Universe, the X-Men are dead to the rest of the world in the Marvel Universe. Yeah. Nobody knows. They're in this little shitty place in the outback, and there's this Aboriginal guy named Gateway who opens portals so they can travel other places. But you remember Pierce from Logan? The cyborg?
Yeah, the robot.
So he used to be in the Hellfire Club in the comics. He was the White King, I think, or the White Bishop, I think. But he wasn't a mutant. He was just a dude, and he had all this cyborg shit, and he recruited all of these guys in the Marvel Universe who had been maimed by Wolverine. And he made them the Reavers, I think. Reavers sounds right. But they were kind of they were a big part of the X-Men for a while. But there was this one guy who had his entire lower half was tank treads. And they made an action figure of him back in the 90s or whatever. Anyway. But they owned that town in the outback in Australia. And when the X-Men got there, they beat them and they lost. And then they lived there for a while. I know. Trust me.
Where are you going? Are you talking about Forge?
I'm still talking about the X-Men, right?
Well,
X-Men are in the outback. Storm still doesn't have her powers, but there's inklings that she's able to get them back somehow, right?
You took me on a ride, brother.
The comics are fucking crazy because then the Reavers come back and they attack the X-Men when they're unaware of it. So there's like a 3-issue arc where Wolverine is nailed to this fucking X in the desert in the outback. And the Reavers are just fucking toying with him because they know they can't kill him.
Yeah.
So they're just fucking with him any way they can. And Gateway ends up saving him, whatever. And he ends up saving all of the X-Men in such a way that they go to different places. That's when Storm she reverts to a child. And the next time we see her, she's in the care of this one weird dude named Gambit.
Oh, weird.
That is how the comics introduce Gambit. And by the way, she's a child, but she has her powers again. And it's never really explained. I think they probably do explain it at some point, but she went through some sort of fucking portal with the Aborigine dude when he helped them escape the Reavers. And that after that, that's when Professor X comes back and Colossus comes back. It's a whole long thing. I just like talking about the fucking lore, man.
We're gonna talk about this some other time.
I
have an idea. We'll talk about it later.
The point is,
we'll talk about it on the air. You took way too much time. Let's move on.
Wow.
Let's move on to episode 5.
Why did it take too much time? That's not
because
nice.
I asked you about the episode, and then you went on this long thing about Storm. That particular arc, and we've talked. I'm pretty sure we talked about it before, but no, we talked about the Magneto being turned into a baby, because somehow 2 X-Men characters have been turned into babies.
I'm pretty sure
on
there's
separate
more.
occasions. So anyway, episode 5 is mostly talking about Genosha being brought into the UN.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Magneto and Rogue. There's Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Magneto, Rogue, and Gambit. And Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, but she was already there.
But yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, Nightcrawler to me is an X-Men.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not an X-Men in this or whatever, technically.
It's mostly centered around those 3. And then the rest of the X-Men are back
we
at
see
the...
Sebastian Shaw, we see Emma Frost, we see Morgan
Emma
Taggart,
Frost plays a big role in this.
Banshee.
But yeah, the rest of the X-Men are back at the X-Mansion. So while they're doing that, Jean Grey is kind of her memories are coming back. with the Phoenix and all that stuff, and she shares a moment with Wolverine.
Logan.
And
God, he's not wearing his costume.
she kisses him, and then he like rebuffs her, which was like you were talking about it. You and I were talking about it, and I do love how they portrayed Logan in the show, and they continue to portray him. Whereas, like, he really is just, yes, he is that berserker rage guy that just kills people sometimes.
Yeah.
But he is still someone who's lived for a long time. And he's at one point, he says in this conversation, I've looked like this for hundreds of years. Like, so he's an adult. And so he knows in this situation, it's like, no, you just made a mistake and that's it. Like, you're Jean Grey, he's Scott, you're together.
Listen,
Like,
as much as I want to just take you to Pound Town, it just ain't right.
he's my friend. It's not cool. And that's another thing, too. It also continues that storyline. Because I love the relationship between Cyclops and Wolverine, where it is like a friendly rivalry. Like, in the show, he chops off the roof of his car at one point. And he goes, tell him I made him a convertible. Because it was after Morph died. But he also does, he just like fucking punches him in the gut at one point. So, I mean, like, it's a brotherly love, I think. But anyway,
I don't know how to classify their.
So, and Genosha, like, it's a really, like, this is what I mean by it's a soap opera. So, the Jean and Logan stuff, and, like, the romance and the love triangles, and and again, I'm not saying it in a negative way. That's why I love it. It's because it is superhero soap opera, and I'm into that.
We talked about this off the air, and one of the things about, like, okay, like, if you're going to be one of those nerds, and I totally am, how can Cyclops flat glasses like
We're not going.
all...
Stop. We're not going down this road.
I know I'm not, but you've already stopped me once.
You went too long on this Storm thing.
I was going to go into how it lends that character pathos that he has to wear the glasses.
It adds to him,
but it's stupid anyway. But that's the thing with Rogue is that it lends her powers lends itself to to having that adds pathos to the character, so that when she's trying to decide between Gambit and Magneto, we can tell why she can touch this guy, she can't touch this other guy, even though she loves him more.
Well, and that whole triangle.
But then she ends up rebuffing Magneto anyway, and it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? Later, dude.
Well, no, because it's what Gambit said.
Later,
like,
green jeans.
which is the truth about any romantic relationship. They're like you know, being affectionate and physical with someone is a part of it. But you have to really love and care for that other person to be that vulnerable, you know? And Rogue, as much as it was nice to have a dance and feel someone else's touch and be kissed and felt, it's like that's not enough because you're still Magneto. So we get that weird backstory in this episode. I think it was handled fine. I like that they are moving away from it. I like that Rogue made that decision not to go down that path. So yeah, that scene. So before that, she sees Gambit. He's all dressed up for the gala, for the big event they're going to, and she has the conversation with him and explains this history between her and Eric. And
it's a retelling of like the Savage Land stuff from early Jim Lee X-Men.
Yeah,
and when he basically did what no other artist had done before, which was, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but Rogue is fucking hot. Here she is in a Savage Land bikini. What?
Sales?
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm 12 and 13 at this point, so yeah, I noticed. I'm sorry, I did.
It awoke in something. I mean, puberty.
As ridiculous and unreal as it is, it still depicts a real form of a human being that is just really hyper fucking
Yeah, so we get that backstory, and then she pretty much relates to Gambit. Like, I understand that your heart's for me, but I can't feel your heart. I can't feel you. And again, absolutely, physicality is a part of a relationship, and I do think being intimate with someone whatever way that might be, is an important part of the relationship. So I do you do understand her struggle. It's like, I want to be able to kiss you and hold you, and I can't do that, And fuck.
I
was waiting. I was like, how can I be the most adult about this and then turn it into
Remy,
being
I want you to take me to Pound Town, but I know you can't because you'll die.
But then he's got to be thinking like, but think of the fucking thrust I could put in there. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Bonk, horny police.
Is that like a super? Okay, so see, in the comics, I mean, I don't know. Was it? I mean, in the comics, it was kind of implied that Gambit had some sort of luck type of power, or something, where on occasion he was able to touch Rogue and not be affected by her powers, or something. I mean, I know they did it in the comics. I know that. I don't know how.
Was Domino the luck thing?
Huh?
Wasn't Domino the luck thing?
Okay, you tell me what.
We're moving on.
Tell me what Gambit's powers are.
I don't know.
Energy. Fucking exactly.
Thing.
And by the way, hey, Channing Tatum, we really need to worry about that motherfucker. How long has he been trying to do a Gambit movie? That character is so fucking cool, man.
Hey. Gambit's fucking incredible in this episode. In this episode, he's a fucking badass.
But
can we move to that? Can we get to that, please? Can we get to that? Can we get
no Gambit movie.
So we're at the gala, we're at the thing. They're Magneto and Rogue
are
lifting in the air, dancing, kissing, holding, whatever. And then on the outside,
holding body parts.
Madeline Pryor's on the outside, and then Cable jumps through a portal, lands there, sees her outside, and he goes, "Cut the music, cut the music." He's like screaming, and I'm sitting there watching it with
you.
He's
on his way.
I'm sitting there watching it with you, and I'm thinking, that's fucking Cable.
Who the fuck is that? He's a man out of time. Who the fuck is that? He likes to fight crime. Who the fuck is that? He ain't got the cool. Who the fuck is that? But he ain't a fool. He's fucking Cable.
It's fucking Cable.
What's that from?
The Deadpool game. I've been sitting on that joke for years. I'm like, somehow I'm going to incorporate that into the show.
Let's do it. That's cool.
I did just now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, are we talking again?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So anyway, Cable shows up, which, we watched it together.
Impressive.
It blew my mind.
Well,
like,
okay, so we hear the voice, like, earlier than that. Like, we hear the voice of Cable, like, cut the music and, shut the music off, and he's coming. And then he's actually there. And, Madeline realizes, looking into his eyes, that he's Nathan.
Yeah.
And then
he says, he starts the backslide by one.
Body slide.
Or body slide by one starts. Which, why I know about that is because, and I want to read it for the show one day. I have Cable and Deadpool. The Fabian, I can't remember his last name.
Nicieza. Man.
It was his run.
He wrote a lot of the comics in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it was like 60 issues or something like that. Like it was for a while. He did a Cable Deadpool team up book. So it was Cable and Deadpool, and they are tied to each other. So when they want to teleport to each other, they say body slide by two. So like, so I was like, I know what's going on here, because it's he teleports and time travels, and like the fucking animation where he gets pulled back through the portal was cool as shit, dude.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about it. The animation in this show continues to just be excellent, man.
I know that you've talked about it before, where there's a couple of frames or whatever. I really haven't.
The first couple episodes,
right?
I noticed
and it was
but
minimal shit. That it was like when this lip sync was off or whatever. But I've been nothing but. I remember the original show. There were a lot of instances where I was like, the animation isn't super great. It wasn't
90s.
It wasn't bad, but they clearly made a commitment to, like, we want to make this, we want to make this consistent. We want to have a consistent level of animation.
True continuation of that show.
Yeah. But then we're seeing this, and then he's like, "I'm so sorry, Mom." And then all of a sudden, this gigantic fucking, like, insect fucking 3-headed master mold shows up. That's just ginormous.
It's
just dropping regular
bombs
all over the place.
I was like, what the
Whoa!
I remember we were sitting there. Most of this, like, last like half of this episode, this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Like 10
my
minutes.
mouth was agape because I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I kept waiting for something to like be like, okay, wake up and like, what happened?
Also,
but it just keeps going.
So before all this too, Jean and Madeline have
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah,
moment
yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
Emma Frost has been fucking with their heads, and Jean gets upset. Which, like, fuck off, Jean. You kissed Logan a little bit ago, and then you're gonna get mad at Scott for kissing Madeline because he's confused because he loves both of you. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because this next part is, dude, I was depressed by the end of this episode.
Sad.
I was sad, dude. I was fucking.
It's
So the master mold things come up. The green shit's everywhere. They're taking out a bunch of like everybody's
gone,
screaming.
just gone, man.
They're burning Genosha to the ground. Like it's crazy, and like Nightcrawler dies.
No,
She's trying to
Nightcrawler survives
He
at
did.
the end.
He did.
He's one
teleport
of the
out.
he's one of the ones that survives because remember like they're about to blow up their building or whatever. That's when Gambit does what he does to basically destroy the Master Mold.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, I thought the same thing. They were in the same proximity, but at the end of the episode, they do show Nightcrawler. He's looking on while Rogue is.
This is what I mean by soap opera. So like a superhero soap opera and why I love it so much. So when you have those moments of like, I really feel bad for Gambit because he clearly loves Rogue and they can't be together.
Right.
And to see her kiss Eric and have that moment, and then
Immediately just
in
like,
that same episode, just a few moments later, we have Cable showing up, all this fucking craziness. And when this is happening, you hear the theme throughout. Like there's one where when Nightcrawler goes down and you think he might be dead, and it's like really like somber, and then it plays at different points. But like, man, it was crazy, and it's like it's so weird. And again, what's so good about it is you have all these great character moments in the like soap opera stuff where I was like, oh, this is going to be like a little bit of a slower episode, and I kind of appreciate that. And then, holy fuck, all that stuff happens in the end. It's so good, dude. Like I was legitimate, like I wasn't tearing up or anything, but
No,
I was
sad.
it hurt, man. I was like
because
legitimately.
it ends the episode with her saying, "I can't feel you."
I can't fucking Jesus, man.
and we
I
know
can't feel
Magneto's
you.
probably dead.
And Magneto, you finally see that redemption when he talks to Leech the last time. And he dies. And then right after that, Omega threat eliminated. I'm like, fuck. And I'm this whole time I'm like, what is going on? And all this stuff's happening. But like when Rogue and Gambit show up together and the music's playing, I'm like, this is what I love about superheroes. And you talk about pathos and like mythos. That's what I love about it. And I think there's just so
Well, the
much. There's so
tragic
much
hero
care
is-
being put into the show, dude. There's so
Right.
much passion. and
tragic
they got to
hero-
get Bo DeMeo back because, like, I don't know what happened, but they got to get him back.
Well, the tragic hero is so much better than the redeemed hero. I mean, it's so much more interesting.
Because everybody deals with pain and loss and suffering.
It's
and,
more
and-
relatable, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still say, like I said, I kept waiting for for it to end, and then somebody waking up like, what happened,
Yeah.
But it just kept going, and just fucking blew my mind. And of course, they're looking on at the end.
Oh
everybody,
my God! When they
everybody
cut
at
back
the
to
school,
the mansion, that's what I mean. It's in all the best ways. It is a superhero soap opera, and that's why I love it so much.
What I was
dude.
gonna say
it's
is
just so good. It's so good.
We've talked about, and I've gone in depth about a lot of the X-Men stuff, but because I love it. But
I am a converted X fan.
Well,
like it's been a while. Like I finally started reading some things and catching up on some things, and
some of those. Yeah,
I'm learning to really love. Like I'm falling in love with these characters, and I see why people have loved these characters for so long.
well, I read. I'll never forget these storylines because I was during that was during my
Here's the
formative years.
That's
what they call them.
Can I dangle you a carrot,
No.
please?
What?
I want to talk about all this later.
Well, let me finish.
I want to talk about this after the show.
Well, that's fine. But I got what I was saying is,
Private. You don't need to hear this shit.
from all right, Jesse. So when adaptations, and this is why I love this adaptation particularly, is you have an original work where a writer goes, okay, I'm going from point A, and then they go to B, C, D, and on down the line because that's the way you read it. Claremont did that with all this stuff, and then the writers after him and everything. I won't call Jim Lee a writer. Sorry.
Wow.
Yikes. A plotter?
Hey,
Sure.
make
but
fun
a
of
writer?
Rob Liefeld all you want, but you don't fucking say shit about Jim Lee.
I'll give him plotter, but anyway, sure.
Get you your goddamn point.
Yeah. So, but the great thing about adaptations is somebody comes in and they go, okay, I'm going to go from point A to point 4, and then point 2, and then point B, and then point D, and they all go to this. They get to the same place in the story at the end, but the way they get to that story, the way we were talking about Storm and Forge, and how she loses it in the comics versus how she loses it in the show, they go from. Claremont, did that, but the writers of the show were like, hey, we can still do that, but we just have to kind of finagle it so that it fits our story, right?
Yeah.
And I really like that about this adaptation. And so far, I've been very, very good at telling, like, okay, like, what storyline is this? Because, yeah, there's a good 20-year chunk of, like, X stuff that I missed, but at the same time, I know enough about it now.
Yeah.
That yeah. So, but this one, man, at the end of this episode, I do remember that Genosha at one point, like, was an apartheid nation, and all mutants were treated as others. They were bad. Like, they were like,
and there was a bunch of stuff with like Mr. Sinister and Genosha.
but then it
and all
became
that,
then it became
like kind of like a sanctuary.
Yeah. So
And now that's Krakoa, but now that's gone.
Well, Krakoa was something else, but
Yeah.
Genosha was like obliterated at one point or something. But that was during my kind of gap. So I don't know what storyline they're using or doing, but again,
I have
well done telling it.
I have no fucking idea what they're gonna do in episode 6, and I don't know. My guess is they're gonna do stuff with Bishop and oh my god, are you gonna tell me we're gonna get a future an episode of Bishop and Cable? In the future?
Thought they were doing. You said I remember when everything started on the episode, like that we're talking about, like the what the fuck. And you said, I remember exactly, not exactly, but you said something like, "Oh, they're gonna do the and you didn't finish. What were you thinking about?
Well,
Executioner song or? Because I think that's what it's
No,
called
I'm
when
trying
they
to
blow
figure out
up
because-
Genosha. That was when I stopped reading around that time.
I'd have to reread it, but I'm pretty sure that Cable and Deadpool stuff is like, they are on Genosha, like but I think that's like when Genosha is kind of like a sanctuary or something.
Okay.
But I thought something like that, but then I also thought like this next episode is gonna be Bishop and Cable, and they're gonna be constantly coming back to that point and trying to fix it and stop it and save it, and maybe I don't know.
I hope so.
Maybe there's an incursion. Maybe they're gonna play with secret wars and incursions and stuff, or maybe this is it. Maybe this is it.
This is episode 5?
Yeah.
No, we got 3 more, right?
Yeah.
Do we even know how many there are? Did we figure that
I think
out?
there's 8. There's 8.
Did we look it up?
Yeah, there's 8. I'm pretty positive.
Is there going to be a season 2?
Yeah. No, Disney hasn't said anything.
Hey, quick aside.
Bitches. What?
Wow. Quick aside. I believe I read somewhere that Dune 2 is like shattering box office.
Oh, Dune 3 is confirmed. We are gonna get Messiah at some point. I'm fucking ready. I'm so ready.
So ready.
Muad'Dib. Anyway,
Muad'Dib.
that's what I'm dropping.
Shai Ulud.
That's what I'm doing when I'm dropping a deuce.
Muad'Dib, come out of there. Get out of my butthole, all you Fremen.
Get out of here, you god emperor.
You're free, Fremen.
Freeman. Whoa.
I took the Fremen to the pool. We don't have pools on Dune.
Staying with Marvel.
Wow.
The Fantastic Four movie. It's coming out in July 2025.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they announced that it is Julia Garner. She is she's most commonly known for Ozark.
Yeah.
A show I've been meaning to watch, but I never have.
My brother loves it.
I've heard it's really good. I just never watched
I'm
it.
sorry.
You know what?
That
Maybe,
sounded really like derivative or kind of like.
maybe we'll do a
No,
mini
my
series.
brother likes that show, so.
Maybe we'll do a mini series. Tyler and Jake watching Ozark, a show they should have watched years ago. That's the full title of the show.
Julia Gardner.
Um.
Oh, she was like the daughter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But she is playing Shia Ball.
Shala?
Shala Ball.
Yeah.
Shala Ball, which is a different version of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Other than Norn, is it Norn Rad?
Norrin Rad, yeah.
Rad.
Well, okay, so Silver Surfer was created like in the late 60s, and
Whoa.
just Kirby, like, I mean, you gotta love like his just unabashed like, wow, this surfing thing is really taking off, and all these kids like to say words like rad and stuff, and like
Norrin Rad.
Norrin Rad. And Kirby was a creature of habit. There's 2 R's in Norrin. There's 2 D's in Rad. Shala Ball. There's 2. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but yeah. So she's gonna be Shala Ball, which Tyler. We'll get to this. Sent the internet on fire because how dare they have a woman Silver Surfer? And you and I were talking about this.
yes.
This is what makes these guys so effective because they take a little bit of like comic
Galactus, though.
focus.
Ah!
They take a little.
Ah!
They take a little bit of the. I'm not gonna say truth, but the common initial thought of this, because I don't really think you could put truth around anything. Like it's subjective. It's art.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people are like, well, okay, but why are we going this route? Like, what is the need? What is the need?
So
for that?
yeah, so definitely like as if you've listened to our show before, you know that we're pretty cool with we're pretty good with, and we actually sorry my voice is breaking.
We're sick of the woke shit. No, they are.
No, we're pretty
Whatever
cool,
that
and we are generally like supportive of more representation and more more openness in art and more truth in art, I mean, whatever that is. And people who don't want to see the truth, I mean, there's something wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I generally have always been that way. But yeah, when you told me about it, because I didn't hear about it earlier today, my first thought, and I kind of am ashamed to admit it, but I have to because I'm a human.
Yeah.
But I'm not perfect. And my
There's
first
nothing wrong with going like,
my first
okay, but
thought
why?
my first thought was, okay, but why?
But here's the thing.
And I've never
but-
cared
but-
about that. But
And I
gender
think,
or race swapping. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that here's the thing about that. You're coming at it from someone from good faith, though. You're someone legitimately wondering, okay, what are we going to do story-wise? You're not just saying, oh, it's fucking woke and oh, they had to make it a chick because of DEI or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But okay, and I understand that.
Yes, yeah.
But
Totally.
my take from it was like, okay, clearly we're going to, because from the beginning, I'm like, they're going to have much how they're going to do with the X-Men, and they already alluded it with the Marvels, how they're going to have to do with the X-Men and how they're going to have to do this is they're going to have to bring them into the MCU and say, they're over here in this universe, because that's the only way you can explain why Reed Richards, the smartest man in the Marvel Universe, is not around at all throughout the Avengers and the assault on, or the battle for New York and all that shit.
Galactus is going to be in it too. Yeah, that's the only way. I was going to say, up until we knew Galactus and Silver Surfer were involved, you and I had talked about this many times. How are you going to show that Fantastic Four have been there the whole time or whatever? And we came up with either the multiverse shit or some sort of quantum realm shit, like they were maybe like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something back in the day, and they got lost, and that's why nobody talks about them, whatever. Or that they, their first adventure like was classified and they've been lost or
they've
whatever.
been stuck in space.
Right. But we know now, or I think we can safely say that it's got to be the same thing. That they're going to be...
Some way...
Do you think they're going to be like the grown-up versions of the last Fantastic Four? They can't be continuations of the first one.
I don't know.
They can't be.
I don't know if Franklin's going to be in it. I don't know if Valeria is going to be in it. I don't know if the Reed family, extended family is going to be in it.
I'm assuming they've been together for a while at this point.
Again, my thing is, I think they're going to have some sort of multiversal rift where their universe is dying, and so I think Norrin Rad is going to be in this movie at the end.
Yeah,
at some way. I think.
Well, he's part of the story.
I think they're gonna collide and have an incursion, and the only way to save the only way to save the Fantastic Four is the Silver Surfer has to use her power cosmic or some shit. And she's like, but you'll be safe because he's, or whatever. Some way they're going to have an incursion.
Right, and that will actually add to the pathos of the Silver Surfer in the MCU because he had to lose his Shalabal. Now, that's always been the thing, right, is he had to give up Shalabal and Zenla. And in fact, at some point during his heraldry with Galactus, he fucked with his head and moved Zenla. So that when he finally released Norrin, he knew he would have to eventually.
You're gonna have to get real comic booky with it, and I'm into it.
And he said, "Dude, I release you just like you asked, but you don't know where that place is."
Well, another.
But also, one last thing: if you're gonna do Shalabal as a Silver Surfer, then you're gonna have to reverse the roles, and Norrin Rad will be the guy who she leaves behind to save Zenla and become Galactus' herald, which is what Norrin Rad's origin is.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll figure something out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Norrin Rad's got to be in it one way or the other.
We've talked about what's the thing we talked about with X-Men is adaptation. We know that we know how much the MCU changes shit.
Can I just say something, you fucking alt-right fuckers? If they made Norrin Rad and her universe a chick and made it like a thing, like, I'm cool with that too.
All right, speaking of the chuds, it's time for the Grift Report.
Wow.
Oh, I'm not continuing.
Oh.
Stop it. The bit is dead.
Where's the dude?
What dude? Oh.
The one dude, right?
That one dude?
Yes!
No. He's a British dude.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Sloppy.
All right, anyway.
Well, no. The British dude who's yelling.
Oh, it's not on here.
Ah, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's not working.
What a bunch of horseshit.
No, not even that one?
$1 million, bitch.
I guess that'll have to do. Move on.
Well, we are talking about...
That's how much we paid for these clips. All right.
Anyway, so obviously we find out that Silver Surfer is a woman, so we have to bitch about it on the internet because that's what chuds and grifters do. Of course, they didn't handle it well. Because they're terrible. So we got a handful of clips. They're not a lot of them are super long. I think the Nerdrotic one is probably the longest. It's a little over a minute, but everything else is pretty short. So we got Nerdrotic, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. We got RK Outpost himself, Ryan Cannell, and we have Tyrone Magnus.
Oh, the douchebag shows up on Fox News.
No, that's Tyrus.
Oh,
you just mushed that name together. So anyway, Nerdrotic is first up. So of course he made a video saying like, "Oh man, we're doomed. We're doomed.
What?
MCU's dead. MCU.
Oh my god.
It's gonna tank. You just ruined all the momentum for the Fantastic Four because it's a woman."
No, you didn't.
Listen to this stupid bitch.
Wow.
They made this decision because it is important to them. It was purely based on the message. You know this. I know this.
How do you know that?
Access Media knows this, and even some of the stands on Twitter know it. Otherwise, they would have gone with a much more established female herald of Galactus in the comics, Frankie Ray's Nova. It would have made more sense, but it still would have been stupid. And let's put it in its simplest terms.
How are you saying this? You don't even know the fucking plot of the movie.
Right.
That's what I keep driving home with this shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I understood where you were coming from, and I understand where a lot of people probably feel about that. Fine. But to just be like immediately cast it out and say like, oh, it's fucking woke, it's done. but
Right.
without even fucking knowing anything about the movie.
And to be really honest, like, yes, when you do think of the Heralds of Galactus, there is a more established female one.
Yes.
And yes, it's Nova.
Yeah.
She's been, anyway.
I'm not saying he's wrong in the sense that that's the more popular character, but like,
right.
again, who fucking cares?
But I want to.
I want to rephrase that.
I want to see the Silver Surfer.
I wanna-
so
I wanna
however they want to do it is fine with me.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, I do care about this.
Oh, I do too.
But I mean, like, who, like, in the grand scheme of things, with how many mantles in, like, how common it is to have this kind of stuff with female characters in comic books, it seems fucking silly to be mad about it in 2024.
Right.
If you want to make a successful movie, you want to give it its best chance to succeed. If you're, say, Disney and you completely own the rights to something like The Fantastic Four, you want to adapt it as close as humanly possible. Now, I might be going out on a limb here, but there's an argument to be made to just adapt Fantastic Four #1. No Franklin Richards, no Shala Bal, no Norrin Rad, no Galactus.
But you can't.
What are those noises?
It's him making sound effects and putting X's over the characters. Being like, no, we don't want those.
What a stupid fuck.
This man is like in his 50s.
What
but
a
anyway,
fuck face.
but again, you can't. You can't just do Fantastic Four #1 without having a multiverse approach. You can't.
Right.
Because you cannot, you have to explain somehow why the Richards are not fucking mentioned at all. Or the Fantastic Four, a team that was in the 60s, for whatever reason. We don't even know why.
There's an argument to be made, and I will agree with that, that yes, one of my thoughts about doing a great Fantastic Four movie would be to faithfully adapt the first issue with the Mole Man, right?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Now, I get that, but you'd have to put it like in the 60s, I feel like. You'd have to have it in that time frame. You'd have to. And then on top of that, again, yeah, why haven't we heard about them in the MCU? You'd have to make it a multiverse thing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with the Silver Surfer. If Silver Surfer ends up being a female throughout the run of the MCU as long as I'm alive, I'm okay with that, because guess what? Fucking Silver Surfer.
It happens in the comics all the fucking time.
This maybe introduce Victor Von Doom at the end. Just have the Fantastic Four. That is Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, and the Mole Man. Why don't you just try to make, I don't know, a good Fantastic Four movie first and then expand on
How do you know this is going to be bad? You haven't seen the fucking movie. He ends up by saying, "What do I know?" And I'm like, exactly. All right, here's the second clip.
Is that done?
Yeah.
Disney does not deserve your benefit of the doubt. The Fantastic Four is doomed. And in all honesty,
How?
it has
How do you
very
know
little
that?
to do with Julia
Nice
Garner's
wordplay.
casting as the female Silver Surfer.
Doomed,
It's
right.
just another red flag. But what the hell do I know?
Exactly.
Nothing.
What the hell do you know?
And red flag, dude. A red flag is
a woman's in the movie. Whoa!
a red flag is a girl going out with you and hearing your takes on this stuff and being like, I don't want to go out with this guy anymore.
Here's what I think is silly about this whole grift, right? So you have some people in this space talk about how they're defending the main character of this new video game called Stellar Blade. The main character's got
I saw something about that.
she's
on
like
Twitter.
she's very voluptuous, big ass, big tits, tiny waist, looking character, and they're like defending that and being like,
She's an anime
yeah,
character.
all these woke journalists don't like the sexy characters or whatever. But then you're like, I don't want to see a fully naked silver woman. You know what I mean? Because like, wouldn't the argument be you would want to like you would be weird about that? You know what I mean?
Here's my
But
thing.
instead they go this route.
Here's my thing, and this is to me one of the. Here's what I don't.
Someone tweeted that, by the way.
Look-
that was.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who it was, but I retweeted it.
I don't want to. I don't want him to fuck up the Silver Surfer. And here's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about male or female or Shala Bal or Norrin Rad. What I'm talking about is if you are talking about a female Silver Surfer, then I feel like you have to have the skin tight fucking silver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and give her hair like Nova does in the comics, like it's a cosmic fire hair?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I don't
That's fine. That's fine. But what if there are woke people like the Stellar, against that, who are like, no, just have the actress wear a silver costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that'll be fucking bullshit.
All right, let's get to
Unless
Jeremy
it's a
from
really cool costume.
get to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Here's what he has to say, and I love the irony of this clip.
Put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. That is the Hollywood narrative, as
How do
South
they know
Park
she's-
brilliantly called out.
He's
And of
using
course,
this-
the
he's doing
fans have
the
been
South
calling
Park
this out
reference.
for a long time. And now we get this.
The irony of the South Park reference is like they don't acknowledge the other part of that special where they also make fun of them and their shit, but they always are like, oh, put a chick in it, make it gay and lame. That's what South Park says.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was actually
Crazy
well,
announcement of the Silver Surfer being female in the Fantastic Four, because of course that's what they're going to do. Of course that's the narrative. And I love this article right here from Yahoo that I screenshotted, and it says, please be normal about Julia Garner playing
Yes,
Silver
please be
Surfer.
normal.
Oh, we will absolutely be normal, because being normal is calling this exactly what it is. Absolutely retarded. So yes, normality will definitely be part of this
You
equation.
fucking use that word, you fucking piece of
Oh
shit.
no, they don't care. They use it a lot now.
What the fuck?
It's been so it's funny that you would say that to you, Jeremy, normal behavior to the response of a fictional character being not the one that you wanted, a different version of that character, and being mad about it and calling it that. Like, dude, grow like okay, either you're clearly doing this for money or you're
Or you're actually a misogynistic prick.
it's like no, fuck you. More importantly,
That's
like,
excuse me.
because think about it. Your whole anger, all you're mad about consistently all the time, is when it's not a white person.
Right.
It's
Or
what
or a dude.
if it's a person of color, if it's a story about a gay character or a trans character, anything other than white, you're pissy about it. Or if it's Sydney Sweeney, is it Sydney Sweeney? Yeah, or like they got a whole thing about putting her boobs in fucking thumbnails a lot too. But that's my point. It's like either if they have or Gina Carano, or there's certain fucking celebrities that they're like, oh, Dean Cain, we got that. Those are the right wing movie stars.
I don't know. Those are not.
You know why they're all washed up? Because
'Cause-
they're fucking shitty people and suck to work with.
Yes. That's what basically like Kevin Sorbo and fucking Dean Cain and Gina Carano and all those fucks. They all fail to point out this fact that people, just like people having the freedom of what you're talking about, you don't have the freedom to just walk into any job you want and start working there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Anyway.
And the people who work there in that job, even if you're qualified to do that job, if you're a shitty human, they have the freedom to say, I don't want to work with you anymore because you're a fucking shithead.
So, Jeremy, in this next clip,
Not because you're white. Fuck.
if it ain't white, it's woke.
God. Anyway,
Jeremy,
what's
and you know what else?
the next one? Are you gonna poke my eye with that?
Jeremy with Geeks and Gamers will also be like, well, we have writers of all different political spectrums at Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, I'll bet.
Because I bet it's great to have a friend that's a minority, and then you have to point out and be like, see, I have a black friend.
That I pay a lot of money to write the same shit that I write.
Well, yeah,
No.
because most of their shit is the same drivel. It's like,
Well, yeah, like I mean, like
but
that's
anyway, he kind of gives up the game again.
Again, you have to understand, none of this is going to get better. It really isn't. And
Oh
this
my
is why
God.
I've checked out on so many
Think
of
of the
these
chuds.
properties and everything like that. Obviously, we're going to cover a lot of these things because our audience expects us to do that.
Because the
the
algorithm.
8 dudes in their mom's basement expect that from you. I'm sorry, the 8 million dudes in their mom's basement. Apparently, you fucking.
So Tyrone Magnus again continues to add to the list because like this is what I really want to say. Be fucking serious, please.
we talked about
and
this guy one other time, didn't we?
I'm saying like, Yeah, because he was with the X-Men 97 shit.
Oh,
Because what I say by that is like when I don't
This
necessarily.
guy's not even funny.
When I'm saying be serious, what I'm saying is you got to be kidding me. It's the same rage bait bullshit. All. So this motherfucker.
You just
So these motherfuckers come out here and be like, "Oh, we got to make a video, all of us in unison. Let's all bitch and moan that it's woke because there's a, you know what I mean?" But Tyrone takes it a different level. Like he goes another one because the thumbnail is him doing a throat slash, like
Oh my
like the Undertaker, like his eyes are rolled back
Yeah.
and everything. And it says R.I.P. Disney. Like this is the final death blow to Disney, having a female
Like the other 14 before it.
right?
Did you know I had pancakes
So I
today?
watched that whole video, right? And at one point, so he starts the video
I'm
out.
sorry that you had to do that for the show.
He starts the.
Thank
you know,
you.
I watch
But
it.
thank
I
you.
usually watch it on like 1.5 speed anyway. So he takes out some flowers, like it's like a funeral.
Oh,
does
God.
an Undertaker rest
Oh, my
in peace.
God.
Then does a Paul Bearer.
What?
Oh yeah. And then starts to talk about this, right? And he talks about adaptations, and he does a weird Heath Ledger like Joker impersonation. So, and it's so funny to me because on one hand, he's like, see, sometimes casting and different things can work for adaptation, but not this. And I'm like, but why? You don't know. You haven't seen the fucking movie yet. But anyway, this is,
So wait,
listen, so this is what I mean.
This
Be
is- this
serious.
sounds
We're
great.
finally to the first clip.
Stop looking at
This
your
motherfucker.
Poke my eye out. It looks like
Listen to how he describes the death of Disney.
I'm a fan of Disney. However,
However,
it's kind of like when a friend or someone you really love or care about passes away. And it's like I'm getting that news today. No one's going to survive news
be
like
serious.
this. You know? It's such a sliver of hope at this point
or a silver
that
of
I
hope.
have. It's almost non-existent. At this point, I believe that I should just cover it until I no longer have interest even
Make money.
in covering the travesty.
Until I'm done making change.
controversy.
Cha-ching.
That drop.
Just the downhill slide
Yeah.
of what is happening to this company. And
Downhill
their
slide.
entertainment.
Still like the
So?
biggest, like
Yeah, downhill slide on
brought
billions
them
of
flowers.
dollars.
It is what it is.
yeah, unbelievable.
We just coast
So,
this hill
I
with
know-
our billions
again-
of dollars and slide down it. It's like snow. Thanks for all the billions of dollars, you fucking idiots.
I just like I think I want to make fun of it because it's like, and
Downfall.
I'm sure like of course there's a little bit of like jokiness to this, but it's just like, dude, compared it to
it's
the
the
death
kind-
of a loved one.
It's the kind
Come
of
on.
joking that makes you think,
No, I don't know.
you're
if it's a
not really
joke.
joking. I think you're actually misogynistic and a douche.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the final clip from Tyrone,
Thank
and then we will
God.
have one more, and then we're done.
Oh, my God.
They're short clips.
God.
You bitch.
God.
Oh, now I'm
Well,
the jerk.
Oh, we're going to get canceled.
I grifted.
Which is not a thing, by the way.
Tokyo grift.
At this point, I don't put anything past them. But you're not going to see me rant and rave and lose my mind over this because I've
You just made a
prepared
9-minute video
my
about it.
mind for it. You see, if you have, they'll tell you that if you have, you might hear a friend got some bad news that they may be terminally ill, something like that.
Jesus.
They tell your family to prepare, prepare yourself, this and that. I've already prepared my mind for the death of Disney just in case.
What are you talking about?
So, when I saw it, I was just
What
like,
are you saying?
okay, still continuing to do it. It's just funny that I heard it on the same day that they're keeping Iger. And Iger said he would fix things. However, this is not a fix. This is a fail.
God, dude. Again, the downfall of this man to just pure grifter is kind of insane. And I'm not saying a downfall. He's clearly still making money. He has way more subs than we'll ever probably have, and way more money off of YouTube and shit. But like,
maybe you just need to I don't know, get a hug from somebody, or I don't know what the fuck.
Why did he double down on the weird death metaphor? Like, what? What are we doing?
You need to calm the.
And what I want to
have a fruit cup or something,
I want
man.
I want to be very clear about this,
Spend a day
Tyler.
outside.
And I feel like we shouldn't have to explain
Play frisbee,
this. I
yeah.
feel like we should have to explain this.
Wow.
If these guys are truly not grifting and not upset about this, I implore you to touch some fucking grass. I implore you to live in the real world, because Tyler and I are very passionate about these things and care about these things as much as you guys claim you do.
Mm-hmm.
And
I grew up on
we
this
can like not be upset about a female Silver Surfer where we're comparing it, jokingly or not, to the death of a loved one.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, joking or not, like, and stress. I got to stress this. I just don't want them to screw it up on screen. I don't care. Again, like, I just don't. I don't think they will, but I don't want them to make like some hokey silver costume. If it isn't like skin tight silver like it would be on a dude, and I'm not saying I want to, like that. It's just the way the character's portrayed, right? If it's not that, then make it a costume in such a way that it's not hokey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like, Shalabal wearing a costume with like her normal.
So one more, and then we're done. This one's short.
Yeah.
Ryan Cano.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, dear
Julia
God.
Garner, as much as I liked her as an actress and what I've seen
sure.
her in, this role is going to be a big, big problem. Fans are not on board with this. Fans actively are already pushing.
Multiple times, people have alluded to on Twitter. So you guys are skirting it as much as possible, but you're implying she's going to get harassed. Because multiple guys in this sphere
You're the guys who are
have
going to do the harassing?
almost like their fans are going to do it. Like they harassed the actress that played Rhea in the Obi-Wan Kenobi, like
also the
Rosie Marie Tran,
yes,
or Rosemary Tran,
yes,
like all that shit. Brie Larson, fuck, like so. Okay, again, kind of showing, and again, he's not saying anything, and they've never condoned that or said they condone that. Sure, but I'm just saying,
quote unquote,
it happens a lot in those communities. Is all I'm saying. And sure, that you can't control your community at all. But I'm just saying, like, you are openly saying, like, oh, this is going to be bad
you
for
got
her.
more hold over them than you want to admit.
These fucking losers on Twitter are going to be pissed. And again, I want to make it very clear, and we've said this multiple times, and we're going to finish this clip and be done with it.
Yeah.
We are not telling you how to feel. If you don't like it because you're like, I would prefer Norn Rad, fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that. But when you go on the internet and act like a fucking buffoon, I'm going to call you a buffoon.
Back, but this is just more of the fucking same. The fact that these rumors came out months ago,
Yeah, it was
and
supposed
it
to be
got
Anya
hammered,
Taylor-Joy.
people hated it, it got destroyed,
That was the
and
rumor.
yet still, even with all the retooling behind the scenes, this clearly shows that if you thought that Marvel was changing from this female-focused bullshit that they've been doing, clearly that's not going to happen. The MCU is alive. Well, I would say it's alive and well, but it's certainly not well, and it's barely alive.
What is
at
your
this point.
fucking problem with women, dude? What is your goddamn problem? Have you ever seen or hung out with a woman? They're really cool.
Hey, women are only supposed to be there so I could look at their tits and they look hot in the movie and have no agency.
I guess Ryan. Was that Ryan? Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? So Tyler,
No, but seriously, like, what is your just before
Let's
we're
wrap
done?
this up.
Before we're done,
Yeah, let's put a bow.
what's your problem with? I happen to really enjoy women. I really do. They're pretty great.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Did I tell you about that thing I went to where I was like one of only like 3 guys and there were like 100 women, and it was like a feminist humor author?
Yeah.
That was incredibly fun. That was cool. You know how safe I felt there? Hell yes.
All right.
Look, if one of the other 2 dudes like tries to beat me up, there's like 100 ladies who are going to be like, "Fuck you, man. This is not the time or the place."
I don't want I don't want to.
Thank you.
I don't want to
At
beat a
least
dead.
50 of the 100.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but
Not saying
it's
all
just,
ladies
at
would be
the
like,
end of the
stop
day-
fighting. You know, I'm not saying that. I don't want to lump all ladies into one category.
Can we move on, please? At the end of the day, what this really boils down to is like I can understand wanting Nornrad or whatever, you know, having the traditional
Sure.
Silver Surfer that everybody thinks of, but I think that you and I know the nature of comic books and mantles are a thing, and they've done it so the other company wouldn't have rights over it and things like that. You know, that's why they do these things. And
And if you're a good enough writer, it makes sense. And it's cool.
I'm
It's
still
cool.
interested, man. And
Yes.
I'm interested in this movie mostly because I'm like, how are they going to tie this thing?
You know what? Off the top of your head, what is one thing? Let's play their fucking game. Off the top of your head, just right now, first thing that comes to your mind, what is the one thing that you could hear about this Fantastic Four reboot movie that would make you go, that's it, not seeing it?
Nothing, because I don't know anything about the movie until I see it. So,
yeah, me too. But there is one thing. Doctor Doom's the villain again, and it's directed again by Josh Trank. That would make me
does
go,
he get does he get creative freedom?
Oh, fuck you, dude.
I say, you know what?
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Who is that? Is that?
I want to have sex with him.
That's what the ladies all say. I wouldn't mind getting
All right, Tyler, it's comic book time.
Comic books. Gotta make a
Defenders.
motherfucking
Number 3.
jingle.
Really,
so
I'm really bummed you got the Namor.
So Joe Jusko was another Alex Ross type back in the 80s and 90s, and he was famous for there's this She-Hulk poster. It's a double page spread, pin up, whatever you want to call it, but it's She-Hulk, and she's at like Muscle Beach in California.
Yeah.
And all these dudes around her are just like super ripped, and they're all lifting weights that are smaller than hers.
Yeah.
And she's got this gigantic weight in one hand, and she's got, she's a Amazon, right? But the thing about Joe Jusko is he, and Alex Ross does this too, to a degree, but he generally painted like real people and then just transformed them into heroes. So that's like a dude he knew who like posed like that, and then he did that. It's still great.
Yeah.
And he had a whole trading card set that came out just for him. He was really famous for that. Ross, I think, is the superior artist, I think.
Wow.
I do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing.
You gifted
is
me the
I want
Daredevil.
with the art that we're talking about, I really wish, and the last one I think is also the last one that I have is also a variant cover, but it's Mike Allred, so that's cool. I love Mike Allred. But I wish that it would have had the original covers for all 5 of these issues because the art is so fucking good.
Yeah.
I don't. 2 of them I don't, but
like I mean, and I love that. So I love that each issue of this is, by the way, Al Ewing and
Javier Rodriguez and Paul Azuquita. No, that's
Paul Azuquita is
it's
publisher.
Javier Al Ewing and Javier Rodriguez, and yeah, the art is.
But I love how each issue is from a different perspective in each episode. Each issue each time they're upside down. The character's perspective. They're
Yes.
Stranger's upside down. The
And
Surfer
in this
was
one,
upside down.
of course, we
Harpy's
have
upside
Harpy,
down.
who is
The High Priest.
Betty Banner.
Yes. Is this issue.
Mhm.
So yeah, now they're in the 5th cosmos in this story, and we go from
A largely science-based,
mostly science to like pure
magic. And this is
like the beginning of magic and sorcery in
Strange.
the Marvel universe.
Yeah, Strange kind of talks about it, how they're like, use your powers, and he's like, well, I can't because this is where the rules are being set.
Yeah, it's
so there aren't
untamed.
really any.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, it goes back. It's the theme
I
of
don't want
this.
to kill you all.
It's the theme of the arc. There are no rules. They're having to break every rules through time and space to save everything.
Right. They come from a place where the rules are pretty rigid, and every time they go back another space, there's less rules. So they're just having to. What the fuck do we do?
Yeah, this actually makes me want to read Defenders Beyond.
Oh, we'll do that
because
next.
that's what comes after this.
Yeah, we'll do that next because it's fucking just as
But
great.
man, I want like maybe it's because we've been, watching, and my love for animation and watching X-Men 97, but this would be a fucking awesome TV show. Like an animated show.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Yes.
Ugh.
If you could translate this art to animation, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would, and then have like a different animation style each episode. Like, man, I would love it because like, I love this art so much, and I think it pops so well on a page that I could just imagine on screen.
Mm.
And again, what I thought was so interesting about this, and what I love about the medium of comic books, is just how well Ewing's writing blends with the art, and how it's that beautiful thing of like now we're seeing a lot more, and I've talked about it in other issues, and we've talked about other issues. The fact that like the art is such a huge aspect, and how much it's like this is a visual medium. Let's show our strength.
Well,
Let's show these crazy panels and break. And there are no rules. This book has no rules, man. It's going back through time. It's talking about the masked raider. Which the more I read this fucking series, I want to know more about that character. Like I want that character. Like it's just so weird. And I'm Cloud too.
I'm not spoiling anything by telling you that the 5th issue is told from the perspective of Masked Raider.
Sweet.
I'm not telling
the 5th because it's only 5 issues. Right?
Yeah. One thing you do, just to touch on it real quick, what you're talking about. One of the things is the way that he lays out the pages. Rodriguez is as much a storytelling aspect as the writing itself.
It works
and
so well
how
together,
it makes your eyes work, and you've touched upon this in a couple of issues previous to this.
There's so many things happening in the background,
right? How it draws your eyes.
So the more you look, and that's what I love
really
about
cool.
it. And it's like when there's a really good story and really interesting characters like this, where you go back and you read it a second time, or like when we're doing this, where I'm looking through the book is like refreshing thing. And just to see like, oh my gosh, all this was happening and I was focusing on this, but this was going on in the background. And there's so many aspects to that. Like when you see the symbols, when so the Moradun is who we saw at the last issue.
Yeah.
He's here. He again is part of like the creation of sorcery in the Marvel universe. And you see the pentagram on his head that's actually his eyes.
Yeah.
And it's fire, it's the flame, it's the club, there's a sword, there's a chalice, there's a circle, just a solid circle, and that eventually we're going to find out later in the issue represents the Defenders.
Right.
That's what's
and the way that they draw it, like later on, we'll get to that. But to get to where we're at in the story, the Defenders have to go back. Silver Surfer is obviously gone. Taia has joined them. And they go back in time. They go into this place where it's all magic, and there's a guy, Morai Dune, Rob
Liefeld ad in the script.
Anyway, but they're still looking for this Carlo Zota guy, and he is clearly hooked up with this Morai Dune guy, and he is the kind of like the slave boy or something.
Dude, yeah.
But there's one
weird.
point. There's one point where like he's talking to the demon, and he says something, and the demon just crushes him in the face with a crystal ball.
It's like you need to be my, like, it reminds you like, oh yeah, it's a slave. He's a slave.
The
to
whole
this man.
time, he's got a chain around his neck. The whole time I read this comic, the whole time I'm like, what exactly is it that fucking Zoda's going for?
Yeah.
Because it just makes no sense. Like, so what that you're, I mean, what is he after,
Yeah.
And in the 4th one, you'll get a little bit more, issue number 4, but right now you're really questioning, like, what is all this worth to you?
Again, this beautiful art. It's the double splash when they fight like this big like purple worm thing.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, I love it so much because it's again that throwback feel, but modern style, and and again it just like this shit. Like, my God, when you have like this half-page splash of all the Defenders' perspectives, different color shaded, different panels.
Because you see, it's the cup
because it's
and
the shapes
circle.
of the God. Oh, this book is so fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And
No,
this
I'm glad you love it because
it's so well written because of and so well, like, everything about it just works because it like great when it knows it has to do a lot of like explaining it and doing things differently, like you figure
this
out.
whole part where they end up
So they
cutting
kill
up
the
whole
worm.
worm, so they're just drenched in this worm's
this is
blood.
this is
And
how they
Taia,
summon.
her reaction at the end, where she's all like, "Yeah, check it," or whatever. Doesn't she have like a?
She says, "Victory is ours. We faced the Wonder Worm and made him turn. Why fear him now?"
Yeah.
And then we see
Moraiden
rise from the blood, and he says, "I was just waiting for you to spill blood." So he starts to fight him.
Blood can be a vessel.
Yeah,
or something.
blood. Yeah.
God, so fucked up, right?
It's just- because his blood is a door. All blood is for the right key.
Ugh.
Before could I only watch and wait for you to spill blood, as you must just to live. For life is horror. All life is horror. And Moraiden teaches that lesson best of all.
Ugh.
So then that, starts the whole fight. But then, we see all the perspectives of these different shapes that we saw earlier in the pentagram. And then that's when Doctor Strange puts it together and saying, like, we're not a team, we're a living spell, which fucking so good, man. Like, such a...
Ewing has a way of making, like... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he wrote the Immortal Hulk, and he also wrote, I think, the Gamma Flight book that I really liked. But I mean, he's just got a way of writing stuff that the way that it kind of reveals and everything, like it's kind of like it makes sense every time. You're not like, but it's also like, whoa, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? I can't describe it. I'm not very good with words.
So anyway, Doctor Strange finally lets go of his magic.
Yep.
And he channels it into Harpy, and then she blasts him like Godzilla with like this mega beam of energy. And goodbye Moraiden from the Fifth Cosmos is what Strange says. He's holding him, and it's like beautifully Stephen Strange cockiness of like, yeah, goodbye, you're dead. Like, is this great? Is it
douche.
Tetragrammaton? What is it? Tetragrammaton is what he says at the end after Moraiden gets obliterated.
Tetragrammaton, yeah.
Which is
the doorway.
Which is the doorway. Which, holy shit! You mentioned Immortal Hulk, where we see the Green Door introduced Al Ewing, so he calls back to his Immortal Hulk shit. And it's like, God, that's fucking cool, dude. And it's like that makes so much sense that he would have, and then again, the writing's so well done that when it unfolds, it's like it makes so much sense why he would have Harpy be in this and use her
because
as
at the beginning of the comic, you're like, okay, I know Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange, but who the fuck are the rest of these people? You know, like I know of them,
and then
but
to end up on a throwback looking page of like that dotted old school look, and it's she no longer looks, she's back to her original human form.
Betty Banner.
And then there's a giant green stomp, and then it's 4 heads. It's the Hulk, but 4 heads, and they all have dialogue, but it's all colored out. So you assume that they're color coded throughout the whole book, so then you can be like, oh, the blue one is
whatever, and no.
Yeah, whatever the symbol is. Or
I think. I love where your head's going, but you're fucking wrong.
You fucking dummy. Stupid ass.
God damn it.
Avengers number 3. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, McDonald's.
So they basically have gone back to the 4th cosmos now, I believe. Right?
So who's next? The next issue. It would be because Masked Raider's the 5th, right? So
number 4 is from the perspective of Cloud. Yep.
Which she doesn't get, or they don't get much to do, because they are stuck in the magic realm and they are science.
Yes.
Much like Strange was debuffed in the previous issue.
Yes, and this one
Punisher number 3.
Punisher number 3. Kicking
Jason Aaron.
Yeah. I love that he wears a Captain America.
Paul Acquita.
Halloween.
Well, who's the other? Jesus Zayas.
Jesus Saiz and Paul Acquita. Acquita.
You made it into a jingle last time.
I did.
Paul Acquita.
Paul Acquita.
So number 3.
It's a great name.
Punisher
I
number
hope
3.
I'm pronouncing it right. And I think Stewart.
Yeah, what if we're totally fucking butchering it?
It's actually Akzazitwa.
Oopsies.
And like, oh, fuck me.
Oopsie poopsies.
Okay. Color artist is Dave Stewart, and we should mention that because he's on the cover of every issue. And honestly, the coloring is pretty fucking great. This whole first thing where they're just bombing.
So yeah, the
dudes
book opens up with Punisher leading the hand, just fighting fucking
Hydra.
agents of Hydra.
Just a bunch of Hydra dupes. Bunch of Hydra
Where's
cooks.
Bob?
Oh, dude. So he grabs one of the dude's butt. Yeah.
So they're shooting him with the fucking Hulk guns. So there's these green fucking energy blasts.
Disintegrates people.
Disintegrates a guy, and it's a sharp piece, and it
Of
happens
like a femur right next to
his
him.
bone. Yeah, his fucking femur. Frank catches it and stabs the dude in the face with it. I'm like, what the hell is this book, dude? It's incredible.
Talk about great writers. Jason Aaron.
Jason Aaron, man. Again, having from the second issue to this issue, I don't know. Is the priestess is that narration throughout the whole story?
The
Her being like the narrator.
Yes.
So from that being issue 2 on, from that perspective, I think continues to just make this story that much better.
So
because again, it continues to pull away at that character and be like, this is why you should not idolize Frank Castle.
Yes. Well, here's a great part is that when they get back from that, they've retained a guy, and he
gosh, dude.
He's not trying to get information from him.
He's just torturing him.
Yes.
For fun.
He's
to make a point.
Right. And it's not like anything. So then I want to skip past what's in the middle there really quick because I want to get to a point.
You're just jumping around the book.
Well, because the middle part is really, I want to get okay. And you never told a single soul about that day. Now that you finally embrace your true destiny, there's a priest just talking to him while he's just cutting this dude up who's just helpless,
just constantly screaming in pain while he's just casually having a conversation.
Tell me, how many more have you killed since that day in Queens? And he goes, not enough. And she goes, Frank Castle, you are too beautiful for words.
Again, this is continuing to show you that he's not. He's always been an anti-hero. He's never
fucking psycho.
He's a psychopath.
Yes, he's enjoying murdering this man.
He is why
in the slowest way possible.
Frank Castle is an extreme example of why Batman doesn't kill, because you cannot have Batman.
You got a taste for it.
Batman can't be a superhero if he's torturing people like that. I have some weird feelings about Batman's interrogations and shit like that with how far you want to go with that violence, but there's a reason why Punisher is an anti-hero and should not be looked at like that. And this book continues to show you that Frank is crazy. Frank as a kid went through some serious trauma and never got the proper environment to really get out of it.
So he learned he
didn't get the help he needed, and he became the Punisher.
He witnesses a double murder on the streets in front of his house.
Look,
nobody does anything.
Look at how that different art style and how much grittier and sadder that is.
Yes,
because this book does. We've talked about it many times with this book. That's been a running thing of the duality of the violence, where at the beginning of the book, when he's killing Hydra, who are Nazis, it's enjoyable, it's fun. But then when we talk about something like real, serious domestic murder, like violence and murder, and nobody doing anything about it because that's just what it was in that world, like in that environment, in Queens, that's fucked up, dude. It's such a beautiful duality of the story, where on one hand it's like how entertaining violence can be on the page, but also so tragic and sad and real.
Yeah.
In the same story. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah. And
it shows you how good of a writer Jason really is.
Wow. Yeah, so he
I know him. Yeah, me and Jason talk.
Well, so he witnesses this double murder, and it's by a mafia guy, and he talks about he's the only one who still hears the screams. His parents tell him to forget it, but he can't. And he just says, he's the only one who could still hear the screaming, and he's the only one who can make it stop. So he comes up with a plan, and he makes himself some napalm.
Yeah.
And he catches the guy walking out of his thing and dumps it on him. And he's wearing a Captain America Halloween mask, which I think is just awesome, because the cover is him as a little kid wearing the mask in the throne of the Fist of the Beast or whatever. And
God, this book is so damn good, man.
Lucilla and Martinus Gianelli. I don't want to hear their screams no more. I just want to hear yours. And he fucking sets them on fire with a can of hairspray and a lighter.
Just fucking.
And yeah, everyone
and then
except
in that moment, that shot, that
talk about
splash
that
page. Oh my God, the smoke making the skull. Holy shit, man! And it's such a beautiful shot because that is the end of. That is his innocence. It's gone.
And then it goes back to
And
him
it's
being
such-
a fucking
and
psycho.
And then the smoke of that to make that skull to really drive home that like this is when the Punisher was really born. He wasn't born when his wife was killed and his family was killed. He was always a
way
killer.
before that. And you know what?
God, that's so good.
It becomes more.
And it just continues to mythologize him.
It becomes
and
more.
and
Can I see the last page real quick? I just want to remember because I don't remember where it ends. Okay, I thought so. Right? Yeah. Okay. So then, so we get back to the present day or whatever, and he's, Priestess is being all like, "Oh, you're amazing," whatever, and then his wife starts freaking out, right?
yeah.
Because she's like not happy and she doesn't understand what's going on and why are we still in the park? And
Yeah.
Priestess comes up and gives her a dose and stuff, and
She's like, where are the kids?
You learn at the end that, yeah, where are the kids? And I want you to remember from issue 1. When they start off, and it's from Frank's perspective,
Just look at
as
the
after
art,
he
like,
got
look how
killed,
sad and crazy and
she's gorgeous, like
yeah,
but
it's beautiful
also,
art, beautiful art.
right? But also, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can imagine it's a real or a real person, whatever. But in the very first issue, they talk about the other people, like the EMTs are talking above Frank's screaming, and they said these are the only two. The 2 kids were cut to pieces. Okay? And I told you to remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the final page is him standing in front of these 2 empty coffins in front of
Yeah.
the beast, right?
Yeah.
And why? Because why? They still haven't revealed why the kids aren't back yet.
Yeah.
Why aren't they back yet? Put them in the goddamn sleeve.
Slide it in there. Yeah.
And it will be revealed soon enough why they haven't brought the kids back. But the point is that everything comes with a price. You've heard the monkey paw story, and all of those stories. There's a price for what you get with that magic or whatever. And he got something from dark magic, but there's a price he's got to pay, and he does have to sacrifice something. And by the end of this story, we'll see how much he has to sacrifice eventually.
I know.
Or if
Yeah.
he's willing to sacrifice.
Well, I love that he's on a
everything.
collision course with Ares because I love the idea of being like, it's just like having the inclusion of the God of War and then using all this magic.
Oh,
and
there's a
having
part where they show
hand-
Ares just tearing the fucking shit out of a
He
bunch
said,
of
"I
hands.
thought he was sending me a war. This is
Yeah.
an insult," and he's just like rips through all these guys.
Just like
And-
nothing, like paper.
And you're like,
Yikes.
so what it seems to be, and I don't know if it's going that way. It probably isn't. You would know because you've actually read it, but. I feel like it's setting up the mythologizing and making him like the new God of War kind of thing, and in some way. And I know it like it turns him into a god. I know that.
I'll
but-
say this about the story: where we're at, we've just finished the 3rd issue. Where we're at, it looks a lot like if I remember correctly, I think this might be. There is a point where the King of Killers or whatever the story is called. The King of Killers, book 1, chapter. There is a point where book 1 ends.
Yeah.
Okay, so just that's all I'm going to say.
assuming it would be the 6th issue because it's a 12-issue
I
series.
will say that that there's a point where book 1 ends, and I will say that book 1 focuses on Punisher and Ares. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have to wait to see.
Ooh.
It goes places that I never thought a Punisher book could go or would go.
Yeah.
And with unfucking flinching, dude, the whole, I read these books before I bring them to you, so I read them a week before, and I've already read them before, whatever. But dude, I remember reading that part where he's just slicing this dude up for fun.
Yeah,
He doesn't look like he's having fun, but you know what I mean?
There's nothing on his face, which makes it even worse.
Right, and you're
It
just
shows
like,
you more and more how much of a
what the
sociopath
fuck?
he is.
Right, and I remember, I don't think the first time I read the issue, like when I bought it, I don't think I thought much of it because I was still like, this is cool. The art is cool because that bone part is in that
God, when
like
he
a
catches
page
that,
before.
That's what I mean. The duality of the violence. Where that's in crazy, insane, awesome. The previous issue
Right.
where Ares punches a dude's face into
So hard.
that it explodes. Like, that's awesome. But then you could also have a moment where a kid is traumatized by serious, real violence and loses his innocence, but then also be incredibly entertaining. Like Jason Aaron, he was just, dude, he was fucking cooking, man. He was in the kitchen. He was cooking. Like
He had some fucking meth.
Both
going.
these books, I think, are. I'm glad that you thought of me, and we're like, oh yeah, Jake would be into.
Well,
these.
we talked about doing comics again, and I was like, honestly, I don't want to start another thing with like we had with Mayhem because we didn't have time for it, and it was fun. But I think the best thing we can do for now is I have these like series or these arcs. Another one we're gonna do is the Avengers Assemble Omega, Alpha and Omega.
You know what? No.
Arc.
You know what? Next one we're gonna do would be I'll find a DC book.
We'll do Defenders Beyond after we finish Defenders.
Well, I want to do a DC book because I'm tired of doing all just Marvel.
Do you have all the issues so we can trade them and stuff? Or do you have trade paperbacks? Because that's boring.
Oh well.
That's why I thought we could do one issue a week and stuff. Trade paperbacks. You're just gonna flip to the next issue.
I mean, we don't just have to do Marvel books. Is all I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying. As soon as DC comes out with a book that captures my attention, like these ones have.
What?
Eat shit.
Whoa.
So I also got the Avengers thing. I got Defenders Beyond, and then I think I have I can't remember the other one. Oh, the Sins of Sinister.
Yeah.
The Sins of Sinister arc from the most a year or two ago in the more recent era of the X-Men with Krakoa and all that.
Listen here, you goddamn it.
Listen here, you goddamn Sins of Sinister motherfucker.
We're gonna do a DC book.
Yeah, no.
Actually, we started.
Like
we
DC.
did start the series, the show, proper, with 2 DC books: the Green Lantern, Earth 1 books. So there you go.
What show?
This show.
This show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Show.
Tyler, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure and
Been
a
a
pain. Oh, pain love job with Jake and Tyler.